What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Avatar. I'm your host, Krafter. You guys know that. And before we get into the show, we're just going to run through a couple of our sponsors because they're the ones that keep the show going. So go support them. They keep the lights on and the audio coming your way. So first off, let me switch screens, is going to be my Metaverse Studio, Beta Skins. We have founder keys out right now. Those are going to unlock a lot of huge perks for any holders in the future. Basically anything that Metaskins does, you're going to be rewarded in some way or another with one of those founder keys. So if you haven't already, go pick one up. And Melee Dose. We've talked about Melee Dose on the episode before, but if you aren't familiar, go scroll their website, meleedose.com. They got edibles and vapes, all with the special Delta 9. I'm not a scientist, but somehow they can sell it legally in all 50 states. Uh, so you can do your own research, but cheers to you if you're ready and ripping with me. Make sure you use Krafter when you check out, 15% off your order. Krafter. Get 15% off your order. Hell yeah. And today, last but not least, we have the team from, well, the founders from ARQONIX, a metaverse studio building in the sandbox. And I don't know where else. We're about to find out, but we're going to bring them up on stage right now and start talking. If I can figure out the right one. There we go. What's up, guys? How we doing?
Great. Working hard, building worlds, you know,
Oh,
around the
always,
clock.
always. I think a lot of the audience can relate with that. It's a never ending adventure, but it's a fun one. It one of the man, I'm gonna go off on a tangent right away, but we're gonna get right back to introducing you guys. One of the things that has always come up with me and building, I call it building, whenever I'm doing anything in the metaverse, really, but is that it always feels like I'm playing video games. So like for the longest time, and still it kind of comes up now that it feels like I'm not working, so I feel like I like need to like try and find other things to do all the time, and it's like no, just fucking do the video game because that is the work. But sometimes it feels, I don't know, it feels
That's so
fortunate.
funny.
It feels fortunate though to
Yeah.
like feel that way because it's like your work is fun and is play kind of, in a way. Obviously, like it still can be work, but anyways, we're already
No,
on.
I can super relate to that because I came from an everyday gamer since I was preteen type of life, right? Like a
Uh-huh.
daily, like boom, boom, boom. So when I thought, well, what if you put all that energy into, you're intelligent, but put it into creating stuff, creating amazing things, it really changed my life.
Yeah,
I mean, it changed my neurochemistry actually, right?
t-
Because then you're in the
totally.
world where you're just like making beautiful things. You're not always kind of in the world of like shoot the bad guy,
Yeah,
you know?
no, that totally makes sense, and that's one thing that I've really loved about this journey through like messing around and really like I kind of just like taught myself. I don't know how much of my story you know, but I kind of like taught myself how to build with Voxetta when I started watching YouTube videos of Panda Pops like way back in the day, and like that kind of
Wow.
introduced me to Vox Edit, and then I started messing around with that, and then I just kind of like started like teaching myself, and then all of a sudden I was like things started clicking, and I was like, dude, like you could definitely just like have like a metaverse studio and build stuff for people because this isn't easy. Like it's definitely something that people can learn, but like anyways, you guys obviously get it because you're doing a very similar thing. So let me let you guys introduce yourself. Let's rewind. Just so that everyone, I know that people are listening probably have heard of you before, but there's also a lot of new listeners. So just introduce yourselves, introduce your studio, and kind of just give us a overview of kind of what you got going on, and then we'll dive into it from there.
I'm gonna take over. I'm kind of a mouthpiece because I just like to talk, but I want to introduce my partner first, and then he can kind of reintroduce himself. So
Totally.
Pablo is actually kind of like, I want to say like the ghost in the machine. He's a genius. He comes actually from the creator fund from a leader of a cell. He
Oh, nice.
taught he taught box edit and game making before it was a thing.
So
When we were the early believers, and for me a year ago, for him, year almost 2 or whatever, but maybe 18 months or something. So he was really a early adopter, but taught the teachers. He taught the artists. So that's kind of his background. So everybody knows he has a huge credibility that is unrecognized. That's what I would say in the creator world.
for
Because
sure.
he just always ran teams and always kind of kept his, like I do, he kind of kept his nose to the grindstone without trying to publicize himself. But now's the time where he really deserves that credit, right?
Totally.
This is a big deal. He's like the operations genius that runs our teams. I mean, this is a big deal for me. I'm so proud of him, like a brother.
Dude, heck yeah.
So you can probably hear it.
Totally.
In my voice.
Yeah, I hear
I
it.
won't get emotional, but we've been through a lot of shit together. So
No, that's super cool. Well,
okay.
yeah.
And I'm
I love that.
Amadan. I'm Brian in the real world, but I'm really Amadan from the gaming background for decades, all the way through to this Web3 world, and it's kind of like an alter personality, so I fit really well into like metaverse kind of living. I was an early adopter, maybe in Second Life, even. Like I've kind of lived that life for years, actually, in that world. I actually lived in that world and dated and went to clubs and like had products. I got paid in that world, so it kind of taught me early what this world could be. Right?
Yeah.
Full ecosystem, So I'm Amadan, and we've been going at this for about a year straight. But in January 21st, we got our first kind of promoted video through Sebastian in the sandbox at NFT Paris. So really, our trajectory starts in January, our real company trajectory, and we've come a long way in 9 months.
Yeah. No, that's so it's been nine months basically.
Really?
What for those of you that don't know, what are some of the things that you've done in that 9? I know there's obviously been a lot, but like some of the kind of pillars along the way that you guys have kind of gone through in those 9 months.
I love talking about this because we really started with ideation models, and we did a lot of kind of, I'll say, sweat equity in Web3, where we were like super fans of collections I was in, and we made amazing art, and it didn't necessarily turn into immediate work, but it was the foundation of what we did. We started retranslating what box edit could look like with the Vogue. With a Vogue, actually.
Okay, nice.
So we're the ones that did those. We're the ones that did those models, the early TARs. We're the ones that was all ideation. It was all labor of love. It was all out of our budgets. He and I kind of went through this together. So we went through Greycraft and Mecha Chaotic. We love these people. We love, these are. I'm a big NFT guy, believe it or not. So I was like, how can we help Web3 translate to a 3-dimensional world that really makes sense as an atmosphere, as an environment, right? It's obviously the sandbox at this time, and for the near and medium, for the far future, we're into this. We're really bullish about it, right?
Totally.
So I was like, do we make everything a flat wall? Do we make everything a flat face? Do we make everything so square just because we work in this cuboid environment, right? But I thought we could do better. We could do noses and ears and tongues and drill out faces. And so we started with a kind of an unorthodox style. Then Pablo was able to take to these teams that were already trained in, I'll say, the old school ways, almost like martial arts.
Yeah.
If you start with the Kung Fu, but as it disseminates through the Pan-Asian countries, it really changes by environment, and it changes by tribe, and it changes by group, and it changes by religion. And anyways, I really think it's like that.
Yeah.
So we keep doing these new styles, like, literally like, something that nobody's done before, we're doing all the time. So I'm gonna go through a quick list.
Let's hear
I won't
it.
go on.
No,
this go on and on.
That's great. That's what this show's for.
We're proud. We're proud of ourselves.
Yeah.
And, we really kept humble for a long time, and now we're really proud. So we did monstrosities, and we did the full collection of their avatars, and we made this just epic 2x2 Aquatica city, and you guys will be playing it in the next season. It's a huge multi-level undersea all the way to the temple sky type of environment, where you're going through the caves and you're going into the deep sea, and you're fighting a lot of melee enemies that we made, and it's beautiful. And we're about ready to re-promote it because we're starting new stuff for them as well.
Nice.
We did the full avatar collection for the bubblegum kids. We did the full avatar collection for the junkyard dogs. a smaller company called Augmented Reality. We did those as kind of a collab. They have yet to hit the market, but they're some of the most beautiful avatars ever made in the world.
Cool.
We show them off, but they have yet to be really promoted. We built game headquarters for the Junkyard Dogs. We built a huge working casino, social hub for Wasteland Cactus Crew. We have built a lot of stuff. Vehicle collections, avatar collections, full workable games. But where we're at right now, we've kind of scaled up where we proved ourselves on multiple levels, right? And we're able to, we've been funded through the Game Maker Fund through our partners to do multiple projects, to do multi-builds. And by doing that, by scaling to this level, it took a long time for us to get teams ready in layers. Pablo can speak to it because, you know, he's in charge of those teams. But basically layering them and creating like a tree of talent where we have people coming in all the time and being trained within the company. So we go through a full Vox Edit training, and the game dev gets trained at the top, of course, you know, near the top, and we have, you know, each one of our key members also has teams below them.
Okay.
So we run it kind of like a cell, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't want to make comparisons.
No.
We're totally, truly decentralized. That's a big deal. We're proud of that. We could work from anywhere in the world. I can work from this.
Dude, that's one of my favorite things about working in this space. And I mean, I've been like an online entrepreneur for a while, so like the freedom of being able to work from anywhere is so huge. Like that just it goes so long. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but so it's I don't know, it's just like it's so freeing. Like it's one of, at least for me, it's one of the biggest like I was doing this is kind of a tangent, but I want to get back to what you were talking about. But I was doing like an exercise, and I was listing out things that make me feel wealthy. I know, like maybe it sounds kind of weird, but I'm kind of like I like these like woo-woo things. So I was listing out all these things that make me feel wealthy, because the feeling of wealth is kind of what everyone's after whenever they're trying to make a bunch of money or whatever anyways, it's that feeling of wealth that everyone's searching for. Like you could get $1 million tomorrow, but you could maybe, I mean, yes, it's going to change your life dramatically, but it also, like, there's still going to be a lot of things that carry over that it's just not going to change your life completely how you would want it to. Anyways, and I don't know where I was going with that other than to say that the freedom was like one of those feelings of feeling wealthy, is like the freedom to do what I want to do when I want to do it throughout the day. So it's like, yes, I have all these different tasks that I need to do, and I'm juggling a bunch of things, and I'm working super hard, but I can do it when I want to do it. And that freedom is just, I don't know, it's I don't know what triggered in my head whenever you started talking, but when you brought that up, it's like it's such a thing that everyone, not everyone, but whoever wants to take the time to learn skills in this world or anywhere online, really. But like, this is a great place. If you're listening to this podcast, you're probably at least a little interested in it. So like to gather the skills to be able to work online and have that freedom to work from anywhere and do stuff from your home or wherever you are. If you'd like to travel, like, this is the ticket. Like, start now. It's not too late. Yes, there's people that are more ahead on their journey, like you guys, for instance. But like, that doesn't mean, I mean, it means a lot that you guys put in a lot of effort up front. But like, that's where other people can get to too. So anyways, I'll step off my soapbox and I'll let you get back to what you're saying.
No, I digest all that information, because the freedom is wealth. That's what people don't understand. Mm-hmm. The freedom, but you have it now. You have it before you've created that.
Right.
I had this freedom when I met him. I had this freedom a couple months before I met him, before I met Pablo, when I decided this is what I wanted. You know, I put it out into the metaverse. Let me be a prolific creator and be prosperous. Let me take care of others. I promise. And it comes to you so quickly through the metaverse. Even compared to Web 2, right?
Yeah.
I meet him. He knows these people. He meets the people I know. We get our brains together, and we're this I'll say the collective unconscious is more powerful through the metaverse. That we're actually able to be a huge think tank in a hurry and make stuff happen like magic.
Yeah, no,
So
that's so
I dig
so
where you're
true.
coming from. Totally. There's room for us. And we look at the sandbox this way as well. Like, think of it. I've said this for a year, so I know people that know me don't want to hear my speeches all the time, but they probably get sick of hearing this. But the sandbox is like a metaphorical sandbox for us to play as infant souls in the metaverse. And this is where we learn to play together. Play nice. Play nice. You don't play nice, you might be in the corner of that box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's all learn how to be really cool to each other in the metaverse, especially in the sandbox metaverse, because we're all going to be in there for a long time playing together.
Totally. No,
Right?
the friendships that are being made right now and the relationships and everything that are happening right now, like it'll be crazy to see where they are in 5 years from now, even like, yeah, we're all going to be playing together in the sandbox for quite some time, and I'm sure it will at some point probably grow for a lot of us outside of the sandbox into other metaverses and stuff too. But right now this is where it's at, to be honest. Like I've done lots of research. There's lots of different stuff out there, but nothing compares right now to what the sandbox is offering. Which is why I'm so bullish on everything and everyone that's doing cool stuff in the sandbox, and the amount of support that they're showing towards people that are doing cool stuff like yourself, and how I think it's super cool how you approach to basically what it sounds like you did, and correct me if I'm wrong or a little skewed or whatever, but it sounds like you found these projects that were doing whatever NFT communities were doing. Some have this angle or that angle, but it doesn't really matter. It's whatever the NFT project was that has something to do with avatars. It seems to be the trend, and you're showing them how they could bring that entire community into the metaverse. And this is such a good stepping stone for like all communities, because it's something that will really be super accessible to all of their community. Like even if you have a not so good laptop, you can run the sandbox on it and enjoy it. So I think it's what I was saying before I got a little tangented, is that I think it's cool how you brought these different projects that you worked with, and it seems like you kind of like held their hand or at least like guided them through, or maybe you did the whole application yourself, but like getting into the Game Maker Fund and saying like, if you have this community, you have this idea for what you're gonna do with the sandbox, and you can propose it to them, and then they can approve to give you funding to help assist in getting that idea built out. And like the main reason behind the Game Maker Fund is so that the sandbox has all kinds of really cool stuff going on inside of it, so that people are playing the sandbox, because at the end of the day, that's their goal, is to have as many people as they can playing and building in it. So yeah, I think that's super.
Catch on fast. Krafter, you catch on fast. These are conscious strategies for me, of course.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I made all of those people that I'm bringing in. If you look at our model, you'll see later. I kind of made them invest first, because there's no way I'm going to bring in somebody who's going to just be flash in the pan and not really go all the way with us. You know, we're growing brands and we're growing culture, so they're not arbitrary. These are partners that I set up for strength first.
Totally.
I strengthened their brand and then said, hey, or not me, Pablo and I strengthened their brand up and say, here's the assets you can use to move forward. And we did. Pablo and I consulted on each one of those applications extensively, with communications with the teams from Sandbox, but not it's not arbitrary. It's really like, what is best for the Sandbox? Just what you just said. Lots of beautiful games that ARQONIX makes from our family of brands. It's all a blessing for everybody.
Totally. Yeah, and I mean, that's at the end of the day, like that's the goal, is to have, and I can vouch. We can bring some stuff up on the screen here too in a little bit, just to kind of show some of the cool stuff that you guys have been building.
I was going through a list. I wanted to say, that we're doing toy boogers right now and battle pugs right now, and they're really going to be amazing coming up. And we also did other avatar groups. We did the Meta Crew for MetaKey. We did
nice.
some smaller.
I love
those. Our bubblegum kids and our Metacrew avatars, they get used in other people's builds, but just so you know, when you see those, that's ARQONIX art. That's our stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, just other stuff that we did along the way.
You said toy. I've seen you guys talking about this one.
Toy boogers.
Toy boogers. The build from what I saw, like zoomed out, looks like so much fun. I can't wait to explore that.
I'm older. You can probably tell by the bags under my eyes. So when we were kids, we would have these pets. It seems so archaic and weird now, but we would have hamsters and mice and stuff in these habitats called a habitat. So when I was approached by somebody with a hamster ideation, in my older, creative mind, I'm like, create a city habitat. But then you hand that over to somebody like Pablo, just the raw idea or my city plan, I can draw it out, but somebody has to actually make that happen in the code and in the measurement. It's like being an architect. It's like city planning.
Yeah,
We did it.
yeah.
We did it at an angle on purpose. It's a big pain in the butt for all the teams.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that was probably annoying, but
they hate, or no, they don't hate it that I tried to do that stuff. It just creates these challenges for the production line, right? But we're doing that intentionally too. Circles, triangles. Just don't have to be quadrilateral everything in the world. That's
no. I like that there's this ability to kind of blend both the very voxelated vibe with a more polygonal, like more like round, low poly. Yeah, like I like that there's that capability, and I think it's cool, and it brings something unique to the world, because I think a lot of what people in the earlier days of the sandbox, I think people are starting to catch on, that there is going to be all this cool stuff. It's not going to look like you're just wandering through Minecraft. Like, don't get me wrong, Minecraft's cool, it's fun, but like it's very square, like in everything, and you can't really like customize as much as you can do obviously with box edit and everything. So I think it's gonna be cool. And this example, I have it pulled up on the screen. I know you guys can't see it, but
can't see right
I have
now. Otherwise
I have the Toy Boogers sandbox plot preview pulled up, and it's super cool to like just see like what is going on in there. I want to just get in there and explore. And one thing that I've found, and I don't know, I've been actually curious. This just kind of clicked in my head, so it'd be cool to get your thoughts. I really enjoy playing games and like exploring in first person view in the sandbox. But I see mostly people playing it from third person view. And I wonder, I know that you can like force people to play one way or the other. But I'm just curious, do you have a preference whenever you do stuff in the sandbox? Do you like third person or first person?
Well, we're third person on a lot of those games now, but we just came out of a meeting this week, late last week, talking about how that would look for a total game. You can, of course, change that gamer angle to first person for the whole game. And I'll just put this out there because we'll either be first or second, but who's going to do the first like Diablo stuff? You know what I mean? Like we should be crawling, we should be using short range weapons that burst at least, right? Like burst, like little shotgun, pulse rifle type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
From the first person, from a crawler perspective, not just as an homage to us old G gamers, not just to us. But I just think like, hey, that's another ideation that will look amazing, right?
Totally.
For video, for screenshot, for for gameplay, it'll look amazing. And who does it best first? We'll see. We'll see what happens next.
It's to be determined. But exactly. Like I've been loving running around in first person view because it really feels to me it like I love the experience of being in the worlds. Like I like playing the games, don't get me wrong. Like I enjoy the different quests and stuff, but I really I've just been enjoying the experience of just like wandering around these different amazing experiences that people have put together, and just like seeing the details. And maybe it's because like I do a lot of the building myself, so like I pick up on some of the like intricacies and some of the things, like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm like, oh damn, that's a cool way to do that, or like, oh, that's so good. Like I and maybe I just have a different admiration for it. But for those of you that haven't tried it yet, try wandering around in first person. It's pretty fun. It gives you a different perspective, and it really like um it really makes you feel like you're there, and you're just like seeing the entire world that has been built. And if the world was built with like good detail, you really do like pick up on all of those little details and stuff. So anyways, random thought about first or
Hey
third person.
Pablo,
Yeah,
what do you think?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let me answer from the point of view of technical developer, maybe.
Yeah.
So the first view or perspective or isometric view is just like a tool that you have to use for something. And so the reason is why people using the third view instead of first view is because in third view it's more easily to play, especially in parkour systems. And
Parkour.
in
Yeah.
in sandbox, when you are first view, it's hard to pass the difficult parkours. And also the second part is that I think that games want, especially games with single players, they want to show, for example, armor set, and
Mhm.
they want to show the weapons, and this is also more easily into third person for sure.
Yeah.
So at the moment we are doing, I think I can say without the announcing what exactly, but at the moment we are doing all of that. We are doing first person, and it should be even a shooter. And by the way, with the shooter in the sandbox, it's kind of possible. Let's say that way. So
It,
it's not officially possible, but it's possible somehow to do that. Yeah, and we were one of the first who ever made shooters. It was the crossbow. As I remember, it was last winter. Um,
nice.
Was
yeah,
that Walking Dead?
yeah,
Or was that one of Walking Dead,
yeah,
Rick's Adventure, whatever? My teams,
right.
before we actually officially integrated, they worked on that game as well. So they did the
Yeah,
crossbow in
yeah, yeah.
Walking Dead game.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I
That is
do.
that early mechanic. That's what he's referring to. Is the
Yeah.
bolt is actually a firing mechanic from that crossbow.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I played Timba Studio did Clear. Um it's in the alpha, this alpha. It's called Clear. I don't know if
Yes, yes.
if you've played it yet. One thing that like I couldn't get over, it just was bothering me, is that you don't actually get to like aim. It just like, well, I mean, I think you can aim, but you can also just like mash the shoot
Blast
button,
effect.
and
Just
and
blast them area.
yeah, and it just like, and it'll just like auto target for you. And I was like, oh man, this is too easy now. Right when I was playing, I was like trying to like aim really carefully, and then I realized that you could just mash the button and it would just like auto aim for you, and kind of
But they're there.
it kind
But
of
they're an alpha. You know what I mean? Like when
no,
they got
totally
that much,
no,
they took like that step, and then the next person like you will be like, wait, I want to be able to direct that and focus it. You know what I mean? Like this is what
yeah.
we do.
Yeah,
We
no,
learn together.
totally. Yeah, I think it's awesome what they figured out how to do.
Pablo.
But yeah, I'm excited to see more takes on stuff like that. And that's a cool thing, is that it's constantly evolving. It's because there's all these great minds coming together,
Yeah.
and we're not. I mean, obviously there's some stuff that you like to keep to yourself because you want it to be a surprise when you release it to first or whatever. But like for the most part, like we're a pretty open community, and love to like share and help and teach people how we're doing
Yeah. Yeah.
different things, and I think that's so important, and I hope it never goes away. um Obviously
We'll get better.
we are early, so we'll see what happens, but I think it, like you said, like you just said, it could even get better. Like it's just as long as we keep this like this community vibe of like Sandbam's such a good vibe. It's just like we're all here to have fun, we're all here to help each other figure stuff out and grow together. And so yeah. But yeah, what you were saying, Pablo, the it does make sense parkour is 100% easier third person versus first person. So like that, and that's like a big part of what a lot of games are right now. Um, which I mean, kind of makes sense. I mean, parkour is fun. But obviously, there's a ton of other games that can be built outside of the parkour elements. But I feel like parkour is gonna find its way into almost any game that you play. So, but it's possible with first person. I don't know if it's because like I played Minecraft quite a bit, so maybe I'm just more used to that first person view, and parkouring first person isn't that tough for me personally. But like I do understand like it definitely is definitely harder to go first person parkour. So that did make sense on your first point, and your second point was that people like to show off like the wearables and the avatars, and it's way easier to see those from a third person perspective than a first person. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, and plus, for example, all the not all the but social hubs. I think that most of them will be third person for all the time because of again because of showing the collections, because there will be a lot of social hubs of collections, and plus because of such games like even Lineage 2 or LOL or WoW. So all of these games are mostly third person, and people used to that. People used to see each other and speak each other when you see your own avatar like a third person.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I think especially for social, like later there, because I come from second background, second life. There will be flirting. There will be literally like
Totally.
trust me. There'll be like relationships will be made for better or worse
Yeah.
in these environments. So people want to see themselves kind of dancing with the
For
the
sh-
hottie next to
for
them,
sure.
and as the DJ is playing, and they're like the position where you are on the dance floor. You see all these screenshots, man. People are pretty serious about
Yeah.
step in line. Everybody get photo opportunity. Everybody line up.
Yeah.
Don't
Do-
photobomb.
Yes,
Otherwise, people are gonna get pissed at you. Yeah, no.
Anyways, we like seeing ourselves,
Yeah.
like psychic projection of self, I think.
Yeah, no, it makes sense for sure, and I think social experience, like social hub experiences, third person's probably the way to go. I think it might be fun to like switch your perspective, like as an option, but allowing or like the default being third person seems to make sense for like social hubs. But it still is kind of fun because like you still see everyone else's avatars. It's just like from a different angle and it's a little closer. So like that's kind of fun too.
Right.
But
Pablo was talking this later or last week about this shooting situation. It's kind of interesting how maybe you could speak to this, please, because shooting actually is better in a larger open environment than small room type dungeon crawling. I want to know it actually is related to what you just said about that other sample. Because in a small area where you direct and where your field of vision, and could you speak about that a little bit, Pablo? It's almost better in a larger arena type of environment to use a shooter mechanism. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes. All right. In case the sandbox is not Doom, for example, yeah, and the shooting system is, as you mentioned, it's quite direct, and you can't to choose where exactly to shoot, into the leg or into the head. And plus the shooting system, it says the range, like the range, how the distance of the shooter, for example, and the biggest range is 16 meters at the moment. It's everything that is possible. But if you have, for example, little rooms, the shoots or the arrows, for example, they will come through the wall, and it can damage even the NPCs from the other
Oh,
the
okay.
opposite of
Like
wall.
it can like
Yeah.
leave the room and go hit something
It's actually
else.
shooting through walls, and in a closer environment, like a traditional like D&D type dungeon environment, you'd be shooting through one hallway and actually weakening the NPC before you come around the corner, basically,
Uh-huh.
right? You're like, hey, these damages are done, and
And
these guys
people,
are half dead.
people
Like,
would
who's
figure
worse?
that out probably and start
Well, we
gaming
would in a
it.
hurry.
Yeah.
Pablo and I would. You would, right, Krafter?
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, why are these guys half dead when I come around here? Oh, because that shot box, I think is the right term, but the projection of that melee attack
Uh-huh.
widens as it goes, and it has kind of a limited power up. 1, 2, 3.
Right.
We know
Yep,
that,
yep.
or even from power sorting, we all know that. But then if that's casting through the wall, you just have no way of measuring like damage, and
Yeah. No, that
like
makes
how am I
sense.
really doing in this? I could just kill everybody through the wall before I get around the corner.
sounds like something that I would probably fuck around and do.
Exactly.
I love
Everybody
it.
would, or most gamers would.
Yeah, it's just too fun to find stuff like that. But it does make sense why a more like bigger like open area for shooters would be better, at least. I wonder if you could. We don't know. I have no idea, but I wonder if you could make it so like the walls take damage or something, so that when it hits the wall.
And that would be so cool. Assets that take damage and change form as you destroy them, so you could have environmental collisions that we want, not collisions that break our games.
Right. Yeah. Like certain walls.
Yeah.
Actually, it's possible. By the way, my part of job is to make possible that previously was impossible. So actually,
I love it.
yes.
Right.
Yeah. So actually, it's possible, but the bullets will still go through this asset. But you can damage the wall, and when it will be damaged, it can be upgrade respawned to another asset that will be like damaged wall. And this one you can damage again, and it will be like destroyed wall. So this is also possible.
I love it. Are you taking notes, Krafter?
Yeah, definitely.
Anything Pablo says, you can bet it will be in a game in 2 months.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. I mean,
we're gonna make one,
dude. Anyone that's watching the show, there's all kinds of goodies to be found, especially in this episode. So if you are a builder in the sandbox and making games, definitely go back and check out some of these clips, because they'll help you on your journey for sure.
It goes back to what you said, Krafter, that the Sand Fam, it's important to Pablo and I too. I mean, we don't want to tell everybody everything.
Right.
We love ARQONIX.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's our baby. But we do want people to learn and grow together. I was a chef for almost 20 years when I was a kid. At 16 plus, I went to culinary school and went, fine dining forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that we all know similar recipes, but I'll bet you my meatballs right now, after 40 years of practice, are better than your meatballs. I guarantee it now, right?
Totally.
I've had a recent breakthrough in my meatball technology.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we share these recipes a little bit in good faith. We're going to be complimented and blessed later by the development of these other minds. We are definitely going to rise together.
Yeah.
If we play nice together.
Totally. And
so that's my preachy message.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that it doesn't have to turn into a rivalry. It can be a symbiotic relationship. Is that
Yep.
the correct term? It can be
better. Super organism.
Yeah. The strategic of this is so. For example, as more little studios will come to this metaverse, or will come into this market, they will bring actually little clients. It's normal. And after these clients will grow, studios will grow too, for sure. But clients usually are growing, and they need to. They have a more complicated tasks, and at this point, it's time for us, because bigger studios can make bigger things, and if we don't take the little tasks. The little tasks is for little studios, and it's okay. When we started, we also started with little projects, and that's normal. So now we are able to make bigger stuff, bigger projects, and when little studios they're not able to, but they are growing the community, they are growing clients, they are growing the projects, and in this case, as more community, more studios will come, the more market will be, the more big projects will be.
Yeah, 100%. I think it we the studios benefit from each other along each other's journey. Like, and some studios or some independent artists even don't ever even plan to become a big studio. Like that is enough, and that's totally cool. Like that's like, and the thing is that it is an ecosystem, and we need all of the different players to make it what it is and what it can be. And I think it's also cool that like as long as we do our best, like that's all that we really can do. But to keep the flow of information, like you said, obviously there's some things that you're gonna keep to yourself. But like even just like a portion of like how to do something to get another studio moving in the right direction, like that flow of information exchange, like that's gold. And as long as that happens, like the space as a whole is just going to continue to grow and grow and grow, and there's going to be cooler and cooler things. So that's exciting.
In that vein, I just want to say we've recently done a collab with a really talented Mexican artist, Game Devi. I put it down there in your Discord. I reached out to a couple people that I just really love their art, and I've done a couple collab type commissions. They're just small price commission that I design and then they create. We've never worked outside of ARQONIX, but I'm just trying to celebrate artists that are talented, but also I'm trying to celebrate culture, like ancient culture, as translated to our vibe, ARQONIX vibe. So if you look at this asset that he made for us, it's the Aztec calendar, right? And we have all the talent in the world. We're not hiring outside of ARQONIX because we have teams that make teams, right? But I wanted to reach out to people that are showing the most beautiful art in a cultural sense. So it's a Latin American celebration that we were celebrating last month, and he did this amazing asset in the ARQONIX style. So we'll be doing more. I would just want to give a little alpha announcement. But there's a couple more little commissions coming. It's really to celebrate ancient, well, I'll go ahead and leak it right now. Ancient Filipino culture and ancient Indonesian culture is coming next.
Ooh.
But they will be, yeah, just wait. But it'll be translated into the ARQONIX metaverse because we're the ARQONIX part of our lore is that we're behind, the Archon run everything, every metaverse, including the one you live in. I call it the Meatverse. The Meatverse is also run by the ARQONIX, by our machine elves in our lore.
Okay, so there's this is getting interesting now. I mean it was always interesting, but so let me just pick a little bit here. So ARQONIX has more going on than just being a metaverse studio. Like you have lore, and do you have anything coming that maybe people can look forward to that was specifically
right now, anybody that's listening, we're injecting right now, right? So we've done an ARQONIX trait, ARCTech, with the Junkyard Dogs, with these new voxel models, and they're hot. If you look online, they're really hot. It's basically like we're injecting ARQONIX technomancer type technology, if you look at it that way, like a technomancer type of injection into other builds as well, but we will be coming out with completely ARQONIX based game collections. We just wanted to show off everybody else first, but it's going to be something that will change not just the sandbox, it's going to change the lore of the metaverse actually. It's a long-term plan that we've been working on for over a year.
Okay, that's exciting.
There'll be Easter eggs, there'll be quests in some of these games, and if you collect some ARCTech, we promise utility. We don't, there's no false hype in our club.
Yeah.
We can guarantee utility.
Yeah.
So we're going to basically cross brand. If you look at us on Sandstorm right now, they're big supporters of us at the moment. So we like what you like. We like to create like a larger community of smaller communities.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
that's what.
And I think that's.
Is that all right, Pablo? All that stuff I said? I'm not too goofy. Not off.
Sure.
She's like, sure.
No.
Sure, Ramadan.
I mean,
He's used to it. So.
I mean, do you have anything to add there, Pablo?
At this point, no.
I don't.
think that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't. I didn't want to put you on the spot, but I wanted to let you have a
Well,
second.
he knows I'll give
opinion.
everything away. He knows I'll just like, oh, I'll give all our secrets away. So he's probably like, keep some secrets to yourself, Ramadan.
Yeah. No, I feel that. That's like how I've kind of stopped myself now, but for the longest time I couldn't help myself but just like talk about everything that I was building for Metaskins. And I finally gotten to a point where it's like, okay, I'm gonna actually like kind of like tease some things and have like an actual like strategy around it instead of just
right.
like vomiting everything. Like, this is what I'm building now. This is what I'm building now.
Yeah, I'm sure people thought that about me for the last 6 months because it's just like prolific but unorganized. And now we're finally getting a system where we're like, wait, you can do it in a little smarter rollout. You know,
for sure.
And coordinate with your partners. It's kind of like something we're all learning together. Because we don't, you know, this is our advertising model, actually. It's great.
Yeah.
It's working.
Right. No, and I think that's like the way to do it really is to partner up with, I mean, obviously you can have your own stuff, but like also like partnering up and supporting the projects that you're partnered up with, and vice versa. Like I remember I tweeted this out not too long ago, but it's like if the founders of projects aren't shouting out the creators of their voxel art or whatever the merch, even, like if they're not shouting out like where it's coming from, and they're not like proud of who's building it for them, like there's either something wrong with the project or something wrong with the builders. Like
you are so intuitive, Krafter. You're really intuitive as a person, because some of the people that kind of ruined their own projects are the people that want to credit nobody for the creation. Like, where did those creations come from? And I don't want to be harsh about any individual company or artist or whatever, but it behooves all of us to celebrate the artist.
Yes.
It's part of a digital modern art movement is what we're in right now. So it only makes sense to say, even if, you know, all of our people and many people give credit to ARQONIX because we're like a collective, right? But we're always giving credit to our talented teams and leadership, and you know, like they're everything.
Actually, I even as my part of job is team, actually, so I'm even not scary about to tell the names of artists, because I know so much situations when the different studios try to hire our artists, and they offered triple price triple price that we pay for them, and they told no, just because they were comfortable to work here, and that's all, because of atmosphere, because of pipelines, work processes, because of growing, and because of how they grow themselves, and that's enough for them. So they didn't take those offers. And I know huge situation there. This, like, if we have 70 artists, I know at least maybe 100 situations. For some of artists, it was like twice, triple times.
Literally, we've lost nobody, except for a couple of them got conscripted into the Ukraine military, and they still do voxel art for us.
Really?
These are his people, man.
Dude.
These are Ukrainians are a different blood.
Yeah, you got a good team on your back.
And
he's Ukrainian.
I think you mentioned I'm not native speaker of English, so I'm Ukrainian.
Yeah, we did not mention that, and I feel like we should, because that, I mean.
Okay, I'm gonna say this because, all right, so we don't over politicize that for so many reasons, but also it's the safety of our artists actually. You know, Pablo can speak to this because he did most of this work. But when the invasion happened, we had to move our artists. He had to arrange movement of our artists on several occasions, not one time. When they came to Kiev, we had to move to the border. When they came to the border, we had to move back to Kiev. He actually, we run, I'm not going to brag about it. I'm so proud, I'll come to tears. He helps run a series of safe houses in the Ukraine for artist conscientious objectors. That's what we do. That's what we're about.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We keep them from war and creating art and full-time employment. We've been paying time and a half since invasion.
Dude, I mean,
they could make more. They could go somewhere and make, like he said, they could make triple right now. They could leave and be leading a team at one of our competitors, studios right now today. They could go tonight and be starting on a project, and we haven't lost anybody. You can't poach us. You can't poach our clients either, because you know what I mean? You can't poach our clients.
Yeah. No, and I love the posture that you guys have, because I mean, you know, whenever you're building cool shit and good shit, and you're putting out quality work, and you're doing good stuff behind the scenes, and you should be proud of that, because that's the standard that things should be held at. And obviously, it's showing that you treat your I don't know, would you call them employees? Not really employees, but
I'm just gonna say they're subcontractors.
Artists.
We call them the collective.
Yeah,
Collective of artists. That's fine.
yeah. I mean, the collective of ARQONIX.
The collective. The ARQONIX
like
collective.
it is treated well, and people want to be there, and that's a big thing, and that's.
They're hyped. They're excited.
Yeah.
We give them new projects that are challenging, like a new ideation every couple weeks, and they're just like, "Who wants to be part of this one?" People really dig doing that Toy Boogers stuff. They really dig doing the Battle Pugs stuff. Like the stuff we're coming up with next for Junkyard Dogs is going to change the whole vision of multiplayer collection playing together. Dope. Same thing with Monstrosities. The next city for Monstrosities, I can say this because we're being directed. It's all about getting these multi-collection obstacle course type, almost like Olympics.
Okay.
You want everybody to play there, right? I don't want monsters to play with robots, to play with fishmen, to play with apes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We should all be like, ooh, we're all playing in the same, and going from one spot to the other. You do a little purchase over here, but I'm gonna play in the afternoon. We're going to a party over here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Over here, there's a DJ opening up at 2 a.m. and we're gonna be there at 2 a.m. It's gonna be like that.
How big of a plot is that?
What do they have? A 24 by 24? It's a bit. I think they're number.
Is that like CyberCongs? How
they're
big
in the
is
top 20. They're in the top 20 owners.
How big is?
They've done a recent announcement. Just look Junkyard Dogs, because they're pumping us all the time now. But look at. Thank you, Junkyard Dogs. I know some of you are listening. Thank you.
Yeah, shout out Junkyard Dogs.
They've really helped us a lot.
That's where I found you guys. I listened to you guys talk on a space. Talking, I think that was when I found it, or maybe right after I found you guys.
Been in a couple.
You guys were talking on a space, and I just love what you guys were saying. I was like, I gotta have them on the show.
Awesome. Hey, I want to thank you right now for giving us that opportunity to represent Ukraine in that way. Again, we don't come out with that, but we want that to be on people's radar now. This is what we've done.
Yeah. I mean, it's something. I think it's something to be proud of, and it's something that should be out there. Obviously, like you said, you don't have to broadcast it, but it's good. It's good knowledge to have out there, and I mean, I applaud you guys for everything you're doing. So, it's awesome. What I had a goddamn question and I forgot it. It was about monstrosities. Oh, we were talking about how big of a plot they had. So 24 by 24 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's gigantic. What is it like to even like?
Wait. Monstrosities smaller. Junkyard Dogs is the larger one. That's right. So they're 1, 2, 3, 4. They're maybe 16 by 16. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it.
Sure.
Basically,
big
for
though.
monstrosities, for monstrosities for us, it's 4 of their cities, which are 2 by 2s, by faction. So you basically have earth, fire, water, air. Terra, Ignis, aquatic, like that.
Yep.
And we've already done the Aquatica city, and now the next one will be Terra. So it's going to be mountain and earth kind of oriented. and it's going to be another, like, I don't want to go too much into it, but another multi-biome,
Yeah.
vertical build as well, because we like to go all the way underground. We like to go all the way to the sky to get our clients maximized of what they get out of this experience.
Totally.
It'll be really cool, like different courses, we'll say.
That sounds cool. And it sounds like I mean, you got a lot of space to work with. Like
Junkyard Dogs, though, that plot and what they want to do is, I mean, we're really going toward like 1 to start, 5 next. Who knows after that? It's going to be huge. Like they're going to be if you look at
I was gonna say
their rating,
yeah,
they're beating Binance for sand trading right now. That's crazy.
Really?
Like they're actually going to be. I'll say right now, because we're long-term partners, they are going to be a very important partner for the sandbox.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, that's not alpha. Everybody should know out there on socials right now, like what we're doing for them, plus their energy to bring cross, like multimedia art and cross promotion of just the fire of their brand, and what we can do with it is now part of like a sandbox company's trajectory, actually.
Where did how much do you know about Junkyard Dogs? It sounds like a lot.
I know they're their first animated 2D NFT. They are early adopters of Sandbox, like a lot of our partners, like MetaKey and Bubblegum Kid. Well, Monstrosities. These people are all landowners. We own land too, but these are basically their brands. What do you want to know about Junkyard Dogs?
I was just curious about, because I recognize the name kind of, but like I can't remember where they first came out on my radar. What I'm wondering is how old are like the original collection is. A year.
Like we celebrated in August their 1 year. That's when we came out with the Ascension and this VX launch and stuff.
Okay.
They're literally a year into it, so they celebrated their year with the Avatar collection of their original stuff that you could, like, if you own 2, you get 1 for free, and they get a really inexpensive mint for your second one, and then for a pretty reasonable price, 0.035 ETH. They're still, I think, available. The VX ones, and the VX ones that have our ARC in them are still available. So you can mint those right now. And these are the ones that are first kind of like entrance into this cross-collab trait thing, where we're putting actually IP traits of our own into our partners' collections. And later we're going to link this with a series of rewards and quests through our partnership. So hopefully you'll be able to, anybody with ARC should be able to go from these different experiences and enjoy bonuses along the way with a group of my partners, I'll say, a group of our partners that they will like.
That's super rad. I think that's a really cool idea and a really cool way to kind of take what am I trying to say? Like inject Web3 into what a partnership can be for both parties. Because what you're doing for the other party is a service. And it's a service that in the Web 2 era, at least the way I've experienced it, it's very like transactional. Like you go out and you get somebody to do this, and you pay them X amount of money. They do it, and they give it to you, and now you have that, and now you can do whatever you want with it, and you never talk to that person again. Where, I mean, you can form longer relationships, but now you can actually like intermingle and like you said, kind of like inject like ARQONIX stuff into their ecosystem, and then that has this whole other kind of I don't know, just like loop that people can dive into if they want, if they're interested in that community, or your community then can kind of get intertwined into theirs because maybe they're interested in that item or whatever, and it's very it's very
an easy task.
No, and it's one that I think should be looked into more. If the projects are really like long-term oriented, it makes sense to look into things like that, because I mean, obviously you want to find, if you're long-term oriented, you want to find other their partners, they're also long-term oriented, so you can continue to work with them for a long time. And it sounds like that's kind of the way that you're positioning everything, and you're guiding these projects into the metaverse, and it's cool. It's very cool.
Though they're ARQONIX too to us, like, you know, they're part of the collective.
Yeah.
You know, the way we think about ARQONIX, like, you've joined the collective now too.
Totally. Yeah. It's like,
you know, they're benefiting from what we do. We have featured experience published, and I mean, they all get free, you know, advert and free. We do assets and videos and renders, and
yeah,
people are benefiting from it. So
yeah, totally. No, I really like what you guys are doing. One of the many things that Metaskins I have in my head of all the different. This is the one thing that I know all of you guys. I love you guys for supporting me and for believing in everything that I do. But one of the things that I know a lot of you have found is that I have a lot of ideas and I pursue them, but I pursue them all at the same time, so they go very slowly forward. But one of those is to kind of be a studio similar to what you're doing, and more that I talk to you, I really do believe in a lot of what, I mean, everything, to be honest, everything that you guys have kind of said that you're doing makes sense to me. It makes sense why the Sandbox would want to partner with you guys, and it makes sense why it's working, and you have happy clients, or parts of your collective, and like it's all doing amazing things. And yeah, so I think you are a great model for others that are maybe looking to enter the space or are already in the space and are trying to determine what to do next. Like, look, that's kind of how you grow in any space. You look at what other people are doing that are like what you are, and you learn from what they've done. You learn from their mistakes. You learn from their successes, and yeah. So keep being a great role model is what it's basically what I'm saying.
Pablo reminded me recently, you know, there's plenty of room at the table, right? There's plenty of room right now at the table, but we're all going to have really nice table manners together. We're not going to be reaching over each other's plates. Pass the mashed potatoes, please, because that's the way it's going to work. We're all going to be eating from the same table, but let's be really polite, you know, and toast each other. You know what I mean? Like, let's enjoy the banquet. Let's enjoy the banquet that is before us in a way that is, you know, mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
Let's eat together.
Because it should
let's
be.
Break bread together.
It should be a celebration together of us cheersing and enjoying the evening.
Like a potluck.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You're gonna bring your dish. I'm gonna bring my specialty dish. Pablo's gonna bring borscht. No, he's not. I have to tease him. He teases me constantly, by the way. Everybody brings their best thing to this table, and then we sit down like, here, have a piece of my ARQONIX. Have a taste of my ARQONIX.
Yeah.
Like we'll all be fine.
I feel like, I mean, that's already kind of what's happening. Anyone that's paying attention right now is part of the potluck.
Yep.
So yeah, it's super cool. I was just looking on OpenSea. I guess I gotta show y'all as I'm doing my degen stuff. Junkyard Dogs, for those of you that care, have a floor price of 0.02. I don't know, maybe you'll know. I don't know if these are going to, I would assume these would eventually unlock VX avatars in the Sandbox if they're planning on partnering with the Sandbox furthermore. Do you know anything about that? Or is it only the VX versions? Like, or are the VX ones already out there? I don't know. I don't know what I'm asking. I'm just very surface level researching Junkyard Dogs because it sounds like an interesting thing that we found through you. So,
okay. So what we pray for, what we hope for, because we're always believing that what we want will be given to us in the time that it's proper. You know, we really believe that if we believe in codification changes, it's going to happen in its proper time, and we'll be ready for mounts or vehicles or shooting, right? We're ready ahead of time.
Right.
So I kind of feel the same way about this. We're creating collections for serious Sandbox partners that are ready to be bridged. And the
Yes.
sandbox sees that we have direct connection, by the way, with that avatar team from the sandbox. We have direct meetings with those people. When they're ready to bridge, they will. I'll say that we're making progress. That's all I can really say, but we are making progress. So of course, in the long term, any partners that are long-term partners also with the sandbox, it would behoove them to give market access, not just to the avatars for bridging, like Steve Aoki or like Snoops or, of course it's going to be the big brands first. Who's first I was told that in San Francisco, 6 months ago at the Game Maker by some of the leadership. I won't say who. So they're like, Amadon, you want everything, but you're not Snoop. Like, okay, yeah, we're not Snoop. ARQONIX is not Snoop.
Right.
But having said that, doesn't it make sense just in our ecosystem that we're creating? Everybody, not ARQONIX, all of us together, doesn't it make sense that they'll want to bridge those and market those, and they will want to market other assets from those brands through the sandbox? Of course. They will.
Yes.
Right? So it's a matter of who is the most invested, who is the most, I guess, built out ecosystems.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Ecosystems really need to show
well,
what we can do for you, what we're gonna do for you, what you're gonna do for me.
Yeah. That's, I mean, that point right there of having these ecosystems built out and having the experience like inside the sandbox, like seeing what their team is actually capable of producing. Like those like if we're going down DJ and Alley and NFT alpha is that's what I'm looking at. I'm finding projects like right now I'm extremely bullish on what you guys are doing and how the builds are coming out that you guys are a part of. I really liked the VX avatars of, was it the Junkyard Dogs that just released? Like we could pull those up. So like I really like the looks of those, and like seeing all the different builds you have going on inside of the actual like game maker. Like, so I'm looking for projects that are doing stuff like that and investing into those, because those are the ones that are showing and proving to me that they are planning on continuing to build into the future. And that just, especially if the experiences are fun, like it's just a no-brainer that those assets are going to become more and more of a hot commodity as more and more people start playing the different experiences. So do with that as you will, not financial advice, but that's kind of how I break down things right now.
We do hope for that, of course, because it's all about added value and added utility. So if we can help build you out that ecosystem from our side and then some, it's still kind of on the original, the primary IP brand to be putting their energy into it too. But when you get the two of them together, when you get a studio like us and you get a powerful brand kind of machine, production and promotion machine, the two of them together are almost unstoppable. Like you need to cheer each other on, just like you said. It's not like we can carry the load for all of our partners, but when you get really good ones to kind of agree to be great together, it's really like magic, man. It's really magical.
No, that totally makes sense, and that kind of hits home for me. Is like it makes sense why like you can do more with those collaborations and those partnerships because you have more of a team, you have more going on. It's not just building in the sandbox, it's also whatever the team is doing on their side of things. Like there's just it's a lot going on that's positive. So that's cool. Am I looking, you can't see my screen, but I believe I'm looking at the VX avatars right now that just got released. Says there's 1,000 of them. Would that be correct?
Yeah. Okay. So that is the ARC-Tech ones, and we had a first group of 1,000, then we added 1,000 with Junkyard Dogs. So really, we sold out our first planned group, that 1,000. Now we have this extra 1,000, to sell. And I really think, again, this is NFA always, because we never say buy our stuff, it's going to be worth more later. We don't say that. But this is something we really love, and they're really beautiful, and we know they're well connected. These models. So I'll just say that anybody wants to go out there and pick up these, from this specific, these 1,000 that are left, anybody that wants to pick up those, they're connected to Junkyard Dogs, which is connected to ARQONIX, which is connected to the Sandbox, which is connected to a huge ecosystem that they have built out of merchandise, derivative art, 3D toys. I mean, they're really well-rounded on their side. So I'll say that this is a connection between a creative studio like ARQONIX, right, and our first, like real believer brand that wanted to like go all the way, not that all of our partners are dedicated and they're all loyal. These guys just happen to step up turn up the volume on us. So
yeah,
we love it.
No, they sound like they're all in, and I love that. Obviously, me and a lot of people that are listening are biased because we're also very bullish on the Sandbox and everything. But like, I love seeing projects take initiative and actually put their money where their mouth is, and get teams on board that can actually make shit happen instead of just staying a Discord community for 3 years. So I love to see what these guys are doing, and they've always kind of been on my radar for some reason. I definitely recognize the name. I just never really looked super deep into them, but definitely caught my eye whenever they dropped their VX avatars. And I did not realize that there's still some available. So you know what Krafter's going to be doing after the episode. You better go. If you're listening live, you better go pick one up now, because some floors might be getting swept.
Nice.
Not. So I'm definitely going to be sharing this information with some big players in the game that I'm friends with. So
thank you.
Yeah. Just keep doing awesome stuff that you're doing. I love to give love where love is deserved, and
these are really pretty. They're really nice, and everything has a story for us too. So each one of those ArcTech traits later will have different ways of translating that in gamification. We have ways of making everything make sense in the end. It'll match our lore, but it'll also not conflict with our client lore.
Yeah.
It'll match. It'll actually bless them. Another avenue of storytelling. So that's kind of like what we like, is adding this interdimensional ARQONIX, like ancient alien vibe, I guess, in a way, right? We like to add that in, and then you have different ways of ideating later, or it just shows partnership. Either way, we're good. Easter eggs and actually rewards. We're going to definitely do voxel asset rewards. That's a ARQONIX thing that is going to be pipelined.
Heck
ready.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're thinking, you're definitely going down the right track, and you keep saying the right things that just like you know where you're going, and you understand the space. I think that's what's important right now, and you're proving it, that if you understand where the space is heading, and you're preparing and you're doing the work that needs to be done to be ready for when the space gets to where it's heading, those are the right moves that you are making, and they're going to set you up to be in a great spot. So obviously, like, it's kind of proof is in the pudding for you guys. You've proven that put in the hard work up front, get some of these partnerships that really truly do believe and see the vision that you see, probably because of what you've told them and how you've maybe coached them and guided them to see the bigger vision. I'm sure they maybe already saw some of it to begin with, but all in all, like, it's super cool just to see your guys' journey, your progression, and to see where you guys have come so far in only nine months, or whatever you said, to today. And you have so much more into the future that I'm excited to see play out, and I know a bunch of other people are too. So yeah, this has been super cool. I think we're gonna start wrapping up. I'm gonna give you guys the stage here. Just plug or say a little bit or whatever you would like. The stage is yours. Talk about ARQONIX or whatever, and give us a little info about where to find you, where to show you love, what you want us to do, call to action, all that fun stuff. Because if you made it this far to the episode, you definitely want to go show some love for these guys. So let's hear it.
Cool. Okay, so on Twitter, Well, it should be available there, but we're at ARQONIX Studio, right? Big ARQONIX metavoxel Studio. It's easy to find us, actually. But we have our website coming out, so it will be arqonix.com. There's a placeholder there, which is kind of cute, so feel free to look at it. We've had a placeholder there for quite a while, but we're developing a really kind of, I'll say revolutionary, but really innovative, beautiful new website will be out very soon. We do a lot of our work through Discord, and any of the collections mentioned, I'd like to go through like a quick list again, if we could. We're putting out a lot of Toy Booger, Monstrosity, I go down the line here, Junkyard Dogs, Baby Yours, Battle Pugs. A lot of stuff is coming out right now, a lot of new things. Reach us through Discord, DM me through Discord or Twitter, because we do a lot of business through this DGen model, right, for now. Very accessible to us, so I'm in this environment where I can always be reached, basically, right, for anything, even for advice, or even if you guys reach out. I talk to a lot of smaller artists and individual artists and stuff. Let's see, where are we going from here? By Christmas, we're going to have probably 10 new games that are all Game Maker funded. And for that next season, it should be a lot of ARQONIX on the map.
Heck yeah.
Like a lot of new, innovative, creative things on the map. So I wanted to speak a little bit to culture, what you were talking about before, like this emerging culture. I see more in kind of like big picture abstracts, kind of like where are we going?
Yeah.
Whereas Pavlo has kind of this arduous duty of making it make sense in the future now. He actually has to live 6 months out for us right now, or more, like 6 to 9 months out, so that we know we're ahead the whole time as we grow. So it's kind of interesting, without giving a bunch of like game tricks away, which we've already given some of our inside alpha, during this interview, without giving that away. Pavlo, what's most interesting in gaming right now in the sandbox? What's the most interesting stuff to you?
In gaming or in game development, because after I started to work as a game developer, I stopped my gaming experience because it's yeah.
As game dev, like developing these games now, from what you're seeing in this season versus not giving away what we're doing right now, but like, where are we going with this? What is it going to become?
Yeah, actually, in Sandbox, the most interesting is understandable that it is look like when you are developing, it's look like you are developing in Unity, but with different tools and maybe some less tools. So you can't input some commands, any commands at all. And the real interesting thing is when it's not just one feature or two features that I can mention or I can tell, but it's mostly interesting when you're thinking about how to make something that you don't have the direct tool. For example, you don't have the tool to shoot. Yeah. For example, in a gaming pack, but to find a way how to do that without the tools. Yeah. So the most interesting for me, for our team, is to find a way how to do impossible. It's not impossible. It's just impossible with to make it directly by tools, but it is possible to make it by your logic, by your skills, and so on. So I think that when people ask me about on what things to focus in game development, in Sandbox especially, I'm telling that first of all, you need to understand what is possible in a whole development, not in Sandbox, but in Unity, in Unreal Engine, what is possible at all in game development. And then try to find something that you just like and try to make it in Sandbox. I think that 90% is possible. You just need to find a way how to do that.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's such.
Isn't that beautiful the way he thinks? Isn't
Yeah.
it
And
beautiful? His brain, I love it. I
Dude,
love, love, love
also,
it. Oh,
I just
keep
want
going.
to say just two things want to also to say. So before even ARQONIX happens, and I worked in a creative fund. I was working like I was sitting and doing these boxes and thought that so I can't do these boxes anymore because it is square. These boxes. Because my experience is that for 15 years I'm a photographer, videographer, creative director, art director, 2D artist, 3D artist. So a lot of different professions in creative world. And for me to build just with cubics like Minecraft, it was so easy and so I didn't satisfied about that. Let's tell that did it. And I tried to make things not voxelized but low poly. And for sure, Sandbox didn't allow to do that. And every time I had a lot of fixes, what I need to fix, so the models will be not the low poly but voxelized. And after a couple of months, people started to make the same things, started to make low poly, and Sandbox said, okay, do it. Because, yeah, and now a lot of tricks, as I know, are still using what like, at the moment I'm not use box editing in my regular job because I mostly work with game maker or with team. But I still know that people use my tricks in a box edit and still like some of requirements were wrote by my my models. Yeah, and so yeah, I'm the first one of the first people. Like I think that I'm the first.
You paved the way.
Say one of the first. Yes.
that style, that low poly style now is developed into what you're seeing us building. You know, it really is like a signature style because we're getting closer and closer to doing AAA by that old technique.
Yeah.
Right? We're getting closer to like, it doesn't look like voxel anymore. And if you look online, when I post some of, we have a amazing person who helps run ARQONIX called Vika, and Vika is really a primary part of our team. Victoria, she's a single mother over in Ukraine that is a major part of ARQONIX, so shout out to Vika.
Nice, shout out.
Yeah, Vika is still over there. She's a tough, hardworking woman, a really bright lady, but she also does a lot of this art for us, right? When I put some of that low poly stuff out a couple months ago, other artists immediately tried to do what we do. They want it. They want to form those forms.
Right.
And it looks more, I'm not being weird about it, but it looks more like a Lego block set because they just don't know what he's talking about. The technique is a very specific technique. I like to call it like engineered paneling almost. It's engineered paneling because I used to do construction a little bit.
Yeah.
It's engineered paneling that then he puts together, the teams put together like into asset where it's not built block by block. There's no extraneous texture on it. It's actually looking smooth.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Also, one more thing that when you are doing, what's the main problem when you are doing low poly style is that it's hard to do the low poly in box edit, but still be in technical requirements of Sandbox because you need to have low faces, you need to have low nodes, but low poly it means that you have huge amount of nodes, and it's hard to combine a lot of different pieces into one node, so it will be still optimized by the requirements. So your computer will not like when you play, but it will look low poly. So this is the main thing, and on this, this is the main thing that I needed to find a way how to do that first, because there was no educational, there was nothing when I started, and I needed to find my own way at that time. And by the way, after that, Brian just mentioned Vika. Vika was our first artist. She's now project manager, art director, actually a lot of different positions. Yes,
Just like
yes,
you
yes.
and I, we all have lots of hats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel that.
but but I remember the time when I was educating her by myself, and from that we started the our own educational system for artists, and now it's like an optimized system when people educate the new people, and we have our own course when people come to us and want to come to our company if they even um, have skills into VoxEdit or into 3D, they still need um, to pass the way of this course because there are a lot of like things that internal what we find uh, ourselves and what we need to educate for new people. Yeah.
To do
Yeah.
ARQONIX style, basically. Is it 6 weeks? Is that what you run right now, Pablo? About a 6 week?
Yeah.
So we do
That's-
it
Yeah, yeah.
in-house,
Like
6 week.
onboard
He can
training.
take somebody. We can take people from even 2D background. He can train them directly through. So he's saying if you already had that talent, where you go from there as you learn ARQONIX style, like this specific styling that we do.
Yeah.
But if you are even, he can take people with raw, just any post Photoshop type art talent and turn them into 3D artists as well. So we work with it's all Ukrainian because we really have a system.
Yeah.
But you can bring in so we're putting more people to work while they're at war. This is a blessing.
Dude.
This is a real blessing for people over there right now. They couldn't work normally. You wouldn't be getting your milk money or your diapers or your at war. It's very hard to make a living.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing also want to say something interesting behind the scene, let's say, is and how we are thinking about how to solve the problem or how to make something more interesting than others doing. For example, we have the one of our products is to create the videos, like promo videos from the game maker actually. And when you come to game maker, there are actually no tools to record the video, and you can play or you can build, and that's all. So in our team we have the I don't even know how to call him, and but he's our
He's a filmmaker.
Filmmaker, okay, filmmaker. But he's actually the filmmaker from real life. So he was filming the
Nice
films. Yeah, so he is the director of filmmaking and operator and video editor. And we educated him to work into game maker too. And so when he is filming and recording some things into game maker, he's doing it the same as he would do it in real life as an operator.
Yeah.
And in this, yeah. So we have a lot of different features, different even tools, for like what he created himself for his mouse to put on the camera,
panning and the shots. All of those
yeah.
movements come from his real world training that Pavlo trained him all the way back to NFT Paris. If you look at that video, those are real film techniques being used from a floating position in the game maker. And then we kept developing that. And that's how we get this cinematic stuff that we're doing now. Like we're at a point now where I would love it if Time Studios would reach out. We'll do a full length voxel movie.
Yeah.
Like, let's start with 45 minutes or something to start, but let's do a full length movie with voiceover.
I've been saying that for so long. I was like, when is somebody going to do a voxel movie? Because it's so possible.
So awesome, man.
And it would be so
about
cool.
All the Lego stuff that my kids watch, all those movies that they're into, Lego City and all that.
I have this crazy idea that popped in my head one day when I was smoking too much weed or something, and so this might not make sense to anybody, but my idea is to take like a comic book, or write a story in a comic book format, but then like translate that into like the sandbox and voxelize the comic, and like so you would like kind of like walk through and like see each scene play out, and maybe your character could even like be part of the scene, but like I don't know. It's kind of out there, but at the same time, it seems like a cool fucking idea, and I kind of want to do it.
Yeah, out there is stuff we love. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Like, look, if you boxed off a build where each room was a page of a comic book, could
Yeah.
literally have like squared off areas that this is where Superman hits the villain.
Yeah.
Pow.
Yeah.
Like, pow. In an area, and you could literally walk through a digital comic.
Yeah.
You know, we do it a little different on this side where we want it to be like digital chapters of what you're talking about.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like chapter 1, the origin story, like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
You know, that's just what we're working with right now. But I love your idea. You could translate it into a game and actually kind of go like, you know, DC, Marvel kind of 50s style comic and have it actually like boxed out, you know?
Yeah. That's I don't know. That's where my head, that's right where my head went. And I was like, that would be so fun to kind of play through. And maybe there's like little sections where it kind of like breaks off, and like it's just like you kind of get to explore the area or whatever, and then you go back into like storytelling mode. I don't know.
Right.
It's
Or cutscene, but it's a cutscene that's an actual space.
Yeah.
You know, like here's
Yeah.
the cutscene. Montage.
Yep. Exactly. No. Yeah. But yeah. Damn, I forget. We were on a roll. I was like, I still kind of need to wrap up. But,
We got to the film stuff. We got to
Yeah.
the digital, like, you know, what in-house filming that we're doing, but also your idea. And I think, like, how far can we take it, right?
Yeah, and I mean that's the name of the game right now, is how far can you take it, and it's super cool, Pablo, like just hearing kind of where you came from and how you had to kind of pave the way and figure out how to push the boundaries and make different things happen, and now you're moving on to even like teaching other people how to think that way, and then I'm sure that just spirals into all kinds of other cool creative opportunities that come from those experiences. So it's super cool just how like everything is kind of playing out.
Pablo has a great talent at driving the breaking of R&D for us, but also keeping our artists aesthetically pleased with what they're doing. You know,
Yeah.
he really has a talent at team management where, you know, we want you to work hard, we want you to be smart, and we want you to use every available option and tool that we have available to you. But we also want our people to love making beautiful stuff. You know,
Right.
we really want the aesthetic to be like, hey, Vika put her heart into Monstrosities Aquatica City.
Yeah.
She put her heart and soul into that, and you can
And
tell.
you can
Go
tell.
look at some of
I
those
was
buildings,
just
like how beautiful they are, and like that has I don't want to say a feminine touch, but it has an aesthetic that, you know, that's hers. That's her beauty. That's her art. That's her soul. You know?
Yeah.
We're into it. We're really into it.
You can totally tell, and I'm bringing up and zooming in a little bit on it so you guys can see a little closer. It's not the monstrosities that you're talking about, but it is, so you guys know, the picture, it is a spaceship with a couple of guys on two different platforms, and then they look
Right.
like junkyard dogs potentially.
Yep.
But like
And our avatars, those little, those are the white and black. Those are ARQONIX. Those are agents of ARQONIX from our lore, and it will be kind of, you know, a multi-dimensional kind of, you know, light and dark kind of like
Okay.
a big lore where we have a big global type of lore that we're creating
Sweet.
to encompass all these other lores, you know. So all lores come from the lore, you know.
Yeah.
That's the way.
Heck yeah.
But those are our new company models. We love those astronauts. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I
We
mean,
even have one more lore at the moment. Like we have like a personal blog, let's say, at the moment. We are putting that into center. Brian, let's see
Okay.
you, because for
So-
me it's 4 a.m. now, and
I know.
Yeah.
He's like, it's middle of the night. He's on the coast of Spain, so he got up after an 18-hour day. He got up in the middle
oh
of the
jeez.
morning. It's okay. I made him. He doesn't have to very often, but it's like, you're going to have to bite the bullet on this one. I'm
Well-
up all the time. I'm up all night. Like, you know, I work all hours. So
Yeah.
I said, this time you're going to have to come up in the middle of the night.
Hey, well,
Anyways,
we appreciate
he's
you being
talking
here right now.
about- This is really cool because it kind of circles back to your show. So behind the avatar, really, we want to take that to the next level and live kind of this international metaversal life through blogging our avatars. So we will be traveling. I travel a lot around the country and the world, but I travel a lot, and we'll be taking kind of like storytelling, almost like, I'll say Pokemon Go times 100, times 1,000, right? We want our avatar masks and our actual avatars with us wherever we go, and we want to represent them. So we're going to start a kind of a third-person blog, if you will, of our avatars, like how they travel through the metaverse, including this one, the Meatverse.
Yes. Yeah.
Where they go. I was just in Kodiak, and I wish I was just in Kodiak, Alaska, with a buddy of mine fishing and doing a little hiking. I wish I would have gotten my, ARQONIX, avatar right there on the coast with the bear. That would have been cool, right?
Yeah.
I could have got a picture right with a Kodiak bear. Plus, you have your model. And I know other people are doing this, like Flicky Play, and like there's a lot of people doing this. But we want to take it like more of a personal approach, like how we live through our avatars.
Dude,
how
yeah.
we grow. How we grow.
Totally. I love that. I've actually this
Pablo's idea.
Might just be, well, great idea, Pablo. Because this might just be the nudge that I needed. I've contemplated almost turning, especially my Twitter, into almost like a blog for Krafter, my anonymous character that I created. And doing a similar thing to that. So I love that idea of really
and do both, right?
And yeah, you can
I
go
have my
both.
personal account, I have my company account, and you could have this third or fourth account, and they could all be kind of complementary. They're part of your soul,
right?
These things that we create are part of us as well. So yeah, I'm here, 53-year-old buffed old man. Boom.
Heck yeah.
And but in the other world, I'll say that old reference from Second Life. I wanted to be an angel and a samurai and a biker and a cowboy. And you know what I mean? You want to be all these things. Let's bring it out into this world, into this metaverse here,
right?
So that we're projecting everywhere. That's what I think. And I want to put this out for you too. I want to extend the offer if you'd like us to create an avatar of Krafter.
I would.
An ARQONIX Krafter.
I would be flattered. I would love an ARQONIX.
Let us do that for you.
Oh.
Let us make that for you, and it'll be kind of also just a show of love for you having us on here and giving us this voice. Giving us a voice is important.
Hell yeah.
You're very appreciative.
No, that's my goal, man. That's why I started this podcast. Is I knew there was so many, and there obviously is, and we've only done a handful of shows so far, but there's so many people just building and creating the coolest stuff in the metaverse, and I've just been obsessed with the metaverse ever since. I mean, I was obsessed with the metaverse way before NFTs. But whenever whenever I saw NFTs, and then I thought of the metaverse, and then I thought of this and that, and how it was all going to come together, and I was like, this makes sense. I love this world, and this is going to be the rest of my life. And so yeah, I mean, it's just...
That's me too.
Yeah,
exactly. Once you saw that the platform, how it works, right? Like an NFT that's a picture is a really great conceptual piece of art, but the platform and the ecosystem that people have built, or people failed to build over the last year, right? A lot of people just, hey, we give up. You're not making money off flipping my, my cards anymore, right? So we just give up. But we always brought people along through Web3 saying, no, there's a future together. There's a big future together. And the ones that came with us, they're reaping the rewards of that at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
They're all very happy with what we brought to them. So, we'd love to do that. We could do a little GIF of you doing the boogie, or doing the hustle.
Heck yeah.
Whatever you're into, we could do a little thing.
I'm into it all. I would love that.
Awesome.
That'd be super cool. I would love to see your guys' take on
our version.
Yes, because I love your guys' style, and the it's like a sci-fi punk is what kind of pops into my head. I don't know why.
We have a lot of disco punk stuff in our pocket from the old days, or where we started with all the robots and the spaceships and stuff, and then we've kind of come to more organic forms now. But I'll say that I want to say a last little plug on Battle Pugs, because when we pop out this new medieval build, it's going to change all medieval builds that have ever been done to date.
Ooh.
I don't just say stuff either.
I'm excited for that.
And it's going to change the way you look at what can be done, right? It's going to change everything.
Hell yeah. That's
there will be new features that come from our studio only. So I never seen something before in Sandbox, and something what other studios making at the moment. So it will be. There are some features that are totally new for Sandbox at all.
and very innovative and very metaversal. Like what we're doing is really like telling the story of being in all these worlds at once, you know, like the access is real. The access is, we'll pop between ports between each other's games later by the click of a button. Like, here I am, monstrosities. Here I am for your party junkyard. Here I am, Medikey. Here I am, bubblegum kids. You will, but we're kind of bringing it the art aesthetic with that, so that you get the code and the concept, but you really get this. I can't really go into it.
I think, but you know, I think that after people will see that, and after they will understand how it was made, for example, it will take time, some, but I think that there will be a lot of, a lot of repeats.
Which is fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Fine. We just want to be the first one and the best one. And then it's fine if other people are going to take this style and really, that's what's really cool about it. I wish I could tell you what it was.
I know. I'm like, God, I just want to know what it is.
I'm a big mouth. Anyways, what we're talking about, this innovation will be repeated, and it will change the way we connect our plots and games forever. It'll change the way you think of travel, and not just conceptually, but actually, like, you know, the actual going between these experiences. We're changing that forever. We're changing it.
Hell yeah.
And on the art side too, heavy on the art side, but really heavy on the R&D kind of innovative. Like the way we think is, it's got to also work and make sense. It can't just be beautiful. I think of Pablo, of course, he has to force me to come out of my fantasy world a lot. Like, hey, come back to where it makes sense. But then he takes it to another level anyways. So it's like we always get better than what either one of us wanted. Is that cool?
I mean, that's the recipe for success is that combination right there.
I'm so grateful for this dude. If you only knew. Life changer, guardian angel.
Dude, I mean, I feel it, and I feel like I'm grateful for you, and I just met you. Like, it sounds like you're doing some really cool stuff, and I'm gonna be paying attention to everything you're doing. You better believe that. So, stay on your A game. I know you will. I forget. Oh, okay. One last thing, because we brought it up, and then we really truly should wrap things up. I gotta shut things down. But battle pugs, they are gonna what am I trying to say here? That experience or whatever that you can't talk much about. When do you think we'll be able to see that?
Those renders will be coming out in the following week or two, and it will be this client's really smart. Highland Gamer Hub is really intelligent about how he controls his IP and his renders, and that's, you know, we kind of work with our clients on how they want to model their promotions. It's their IP.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kind of start with a drip because that's his technique, right? I believe in this kid. I believe in this guy a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, he's a powerful, passionate IP partner for us. So he's going to start dripping like he's doing right now. You can look on and see. If you'll look today, he dropped a wizard that we did, a pug wizard that's mixing. It's some of our real custom animation, beautiful stuff. There's a raven that drops the ingredient. If you look at,
found it. I got it on the screen.
But so he's going to start dripping these beautiful things right now, but we're completing the game in the following week or so.
Cool. And is that a Game Maker Fun game?
Nope.
No?
That was nope. That's a client
Cool.
paid game. However, you know, I would not exclude the fact that I would try to apply with this fella, because I think he has what we need. He has the streaming, he has the following, he has a dedicated IP brand that he's building, and this is what ARQONIX does. We find the people that we believe are going to keep building.
Yeah.
We make them prove, or I make them prove that they're dedicated and building with us before I'm ever going to take them to the sandbox.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to show, just like we did. We did a lot of sweat equity for the box and for our partners and for, you know, we've done a lot of actually, you know, free stuff just to promote each other. But I need commitment. I need somebody who really wants to grow with us, right?
I feel that.
So far, we're pretty good so far. Like,
yeah.
I say 9 out of 10 or something.
I was gonna say,
I
don't know all your history, but it seems like you've definitely had some guys that seem to be sticking with it and knocking it out of the park. So
Battle Pugs will be like that, I believe. He's such a what we show, the art plus his ability to brand, his IP, plus his cult-like following. I shouldn't say that, but these pug guys are serious. He's a Theta streamer, so it's interesting that we're kind of crossing platform. This is a big deal.
Oh, I was
Theta
wondering.
streamer coming into the box like this, right? But not denying his roots, not denying what brought him, right? This is a big deal because this is also metaverse, right?
Right. What
Okay, hey, are we in the box? Are we in Theta stream? We're both. It's not mutually exclusive. The metaverse is not meant to be siloed.
Totally. That's the one thing that I can't wait until that changes. But
anyways,
but
yeah,
I
we're
mean,
working on it.
yeah,
We're all working on it.
exactly. That's baby steps right now.
Yeah.
But that's super cool. Is who's behind Battle Pugs, or is he not saying
His
yet?
name's Highland. It's he's connected to most of those posts, but his name is Highland Gamer Hub. Highs, Highs, sorry, Highs, for getting your name wrong. Highs Gaming Hub, and he has his own kind of like brand himself. And if you look at his, I could probably pull up his Twitter easily enough.
Yeah, I found
You look
him.
at his avatar. We did that one. See on his post.
Yeah,
him.
nice,
It
nice.
looks just like him, and we made him doing the cha-cha because one of his like signature moves is doing the cha-cha. So a little bit of kind of like hooked him up a little bit with that.
Nice. Okay, cool. No, that's awesome. I don't know a whole lot about Theta. I have been hearing more and more about it though.
Yeah, I think they do drops and they control their NFTs on their side, and of course, just like every platform does, and then they kind of sponsor, and I think they're more into like helping brands grow through self-branding,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
like what we're doing, what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's
I don't know a lot about him either, but I know High's Gaming Hub is like super passionate, super detail oriented, super motivated every single day type of fella. The kind of partner you want.
Yep.
So I'm a big believer in people like that. Like, hey, you're working as hard as I am on my side. Like,
Right.
we'll all get there.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's like I keep saying, that's the recipe, man. You guys are doing big things.
And then Baby Yours, there's a new brand, Baby Yours, coming out. This is a multimedia artist from, I won't keep plugging because I could just go on forever.
It's all right.
He's from LA, but he's a really beautiful Latin multimedia artist, musician, and physical arts and staged staged art in public and stuff. He does like scenes. Anyways, he was actually referred to us from somebody from the Game Maker Fund. So he's actually funded, and we'll be getting him started in the next 2 weeks as well.
That's awesome. Congrats.
It'll be different. It'll be a different translation because he is a whole, like a whole kind of real artist. Like it will be some really wild stuff. Diablos is his NFT group, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be another signature kind of brand that nothing will look like this guy's stuff once we're done with it, right?
That's the way to do it. You want to stick out. You don't want to be like everything else. So hell yeah. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see everything that you guys are doing. You guys really are doing some really cool stuff, and congrats on all of your previous and recent and all the successes that you guys are having. And I know it has definitely been a journey for you, and a lot of hard work and a lot of long days. So thanks for showing up and doing that. And thank you guys for not tuning in, for coming on the show and talking with me about it. I appreciate it.
It was our pleasure. Pablo had to get up in the middle of the night. But
yeah, seriously.
I really need to, let this guy shine more. So I have to pull him in. Pull him in.
You shined on this one, so we'll definitely have
sir.
some clips that you can chop up for you. Yeah. So
he is married, ladies. By the way, just for the record, he is happily married. So
I know there are people asking in the chat.
Exactly. I'm sure it's coming up. I know he's a cutie, but he's already taken, y'all. So.
Well, all right, guys. Like I said, I appreciate having you on, and it's been a blast. We'll definitely have to have you back on again whenever you got some more cool stuff to talk about. But until then, we'll talk again.
We'll stay in touch. Don't worry. I'll be in touch with you in the next day or so. We're gonna hook you up with this avatar.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Don't worry.
Just wanted to say the same. Like, if you want, we have to about talk like every day, especially in my knowledge. Brian, he can talk every day.
Well, I get paid for it. It works. You know, I talk a lot.
That's all. It's all part of it. That's what you said. Like it's a good partnership that you guys got. You got everything you need. But yeah, thank you guys again so much, and thank you guys everyone who tuned in to listen. I appreciate all y'all. I see you guys in the chat saying what up, and love the stream, love the studio, awesome studio, great stream, brothers. Hell yeah! Thank you guys.
Yeah.
I love you.
Right.
Peace.
Be good to each other out there. Really, be loving. Love all of y'all. Like, really bring it together in the next few months, you guys. We'll get famous together.
100%. Love ya.
Love ya. We'll talk to you soon, Krafter.